So today, we're diving into a really big idea: cognitive synthesis. It's a way of thinking that could completely unlock your full potential. And you know what? It all starts by tackling a really common belief about how our own minds work.
I'm sure you've heard this a million times, right? Are you left-brained or right-brained? It's this classic idea that we're all one or the other, either a super logical analyst or a free-spirited artist. But what if it's not that simple at all?
This idea of a left brain, right brain split it's everywhere. So let's take a second and really look at what people mean when they talk about this popular myth. And here it is, the classic breakdown. On one side, you've got the analyst, all about logic, analysis, numbers, and order. And on the other, you've got the artist, creative, intuitive, seeing the big picture, and driven by feeling. I'm willing to bet that as you look at these two columns, one of them just kind of feels more like, well, you. But here's the pivot. This is the crucial question. What if seeing ourselves as just one or the other is actually holding us back? What if putting ourselves in one of these boxes is preventing us from accessing our most powerful thinking tools? And that brings us to the real truth of the matter, which goes way beyond this simple divide. See, the real power isn't in choosing a side or sticking a label on yourself. It's about getting both sides of our brain to work together, in harmony. This is what we call whole brain thinking, and the most important word there is active. It's not something that just happens on its own. It's a deliberate strategy. It's you intentionally coordinating both your analytical mind and your creative mind to tackle a problem or dream up a new idea. And this quote just nails it. It's not about which side is better or which one you use more often. The real magic, the innovation, those aha moments, that happens right at the intersection, right where logic and creativity meet. You know, a much better way to think about this is that our brain hemispheres aren't competing against each other. They're two distinct, highly specialized toolkits. And just like any master craftsperson, the best results happen when you know how to use all the tools you've got. So let's open up the first toolkit, the left hemisphere. Think of this side as your brain's structural engineer. It is brilliant at breaking things down, processing information in a logical step-by-step way. It handles language, it crunches the numbers, and it loves to create order out of chaos. This is what gives us structure. And then you've got the other toolkit, the right hemisphere. Now, if the left brain is the engineer, this is the visionary architect. It doesn't do step-by-step, no. It sees the whole picture all at once. This is where your gut feelings, your intuition comes from. It recognizes patterns and thinks in these amazing creative leaps. This is what gives us vision. So you see, the key isn't which one is better, but that you absolutely need both. You need the engineer and the architect. You need the structure and the vision. The most groundbreaking thinking doesn't come from one or the other, but from the powerful connection between them. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? Let's get practical. I'm gonna walk you through a super simple 3-step method you can start using right now. All right, here's the method. Step 1 is analyze. This is pure left brain work. Let's say you're trying to design a new chair. You'd list out all the facts, the materials, the budget, the dimensions. You're building a logical structure. Then step 2, explore. Now you switch gears and let the right brain run wild. Forget the constraints for a minute. Sketch crazy ideas. What if the chair was made of clouds? What if it could float? The rule here is no judgment, just pure possibility. And finally, step 3 is synthesize. This is where you bring the two worlds together. You look at your wild creative ideas from step 2, and you use the logical structure from step 1 to make them real. Maybe that cloud idea inspires you to use a new type of foam, and suddenly you have a design that's both innovative and it fits the budget. See how that works? So why even go through all this effort? What's the real payoff? Well, that's what we call the whole brain advantage. And believe me, the benefits are incredibly powerful. When you consistently bring both logic and intuition to the table, you don't just solve problems, you create truly innovative solutions. Your decisions become so much more robust because they're backed by data and a solid gut feeling. And ultimately, you develop a much deeper understanding of complex challenges, which makes you way more adaptable in a world that's always changing. It really is this simple. You have two incredibly powerful toolkits in your head. And if you're only using one, no matter how good you are with it, you're only working with half your potential. So I'll leave you with this. Think about a challenge you're facing right now, big or small. Now that you have this method, analyze, explore, synthesize, what problem will you solve first?